Hey YouTube, what is up? The Captain Tech here, and from July the 3rd to July the 26th, I traveled to China. So here are a few pictures that I took, and we are in Shanghai right now. This is actually a temple building, I believe. And this is really prehistoric and around the early 20th century. Here's some fake shops, as you can see now, that are there. And if you want to buy fake products and knockoff goods or replicas, I would definitely recommend going to Cheap Street, as you can pick up some very nice things for extremely cheap there. I actually got a pair of shoes for like less than $1 to wear as sandals on my trip, and it was just a great experience to go. It's an indoor market, so you don't have to worry about the weather. Here's a food called Stinky tofu. It's often commonly referred to as the Chinese version of cheese, as it is fungus. Fungus does grow on it, and it smells really bad, but just try it, and some of you might like the taste like I do. And here's some shacks or shops that are that inhabit the area, which is the name that is right there. Now on the bottom left-hand corner, there is a preserved vegetable that I believe is daikon, that I really like. It tastes salty, and it's just great. Here's some dumplings. It does have soup in them, and how they make it is they actually put a gel in it, and once they heat it up, it becomes a liquid. And here's a store that I thought was kind of interesting, as it interpreted an American store. So here's my ride to the bullet train from Shanghai to Beijing. As you can see, it went 302 kilometers, but for most of the time it went 305 kilometers. From Shanghai to Beijing, my first trip, my first bullet train that I took, had about maybe 3 or 4 stops. One of them in Nanjing, which was the former capital of China when it was non-communist. For that, it was Beijing again, I believe. And then the ancient capital is Xi'an, which were terracotta soldiers. As you can see, I did experience a little bit of rain, but no delays. It's much faster than an airplane from Beijing to Shanghai or from Shanghai to Beijing, mainly because it doesn't take you to the outskirts of the city. It takes you to the center, and you can go there 20 minutes before your train ride and check in. We actually went there in 10, and we got just enough time, unlike an airplane, which you have to wait a good hour before. And the scenery was very beautiful. There was a lot of farmlands, and there was a few lumps on the farmlands, and my dad actually showed me that those were dead bodies of the ancestors, and they wanted to put them a place to remember them. And here's the Forbidden City, and it's just an immensely large place. The emperor there, it was said that he had 500 wives, and most of them took the throne at the age of maybe 4 or 10 years old. And it's said that he had wives that he didn't even sleep with 500 of them. And it's just huge. There's an immensely large garden, a bell museum, and you do have to watch out though, because there's quite a few people trying to sell you tourist packages to go to the Great Wall, and some of them on Wikipedia and other sources said it was a scam, so just watch out. But as you can see, the artwork is very detailed, and as you can see, there's huge roaming ground. It's just so immense, and this pot is actually for water. Some Western tourists thought it was for garbage, but here's another one. It's for water. It's to prevent the Forbidden City from being burnt down. As you can see, the artwork is very integral and very detailed, and it's just amazing how detailed it is, considering fact how old the structure is. Now the middle stairs, they're blocked off, and those were for the emperor to walk with. As you can see, they're not worn at all, and they're dragon structures. And the artwork is very integral, as I said many times already, but it's just so amazing to see how they could build these items. Now, a quick fact is, the servants to the husband of the emperor's wives or emperor, they at a very young age, before they started to have puberty, they would actually cut off their genitalia so that the hormones wouldn't come in, and thus they wouldn't have an affair with one of the emperor's wives. And one interesting thing is they actually hang their testicles above ground level, thinking that they would need all their body parts to go to the next life per se. And I thought that was really interesting. Both my dad and mom told me about this, which was kind of interesting. But here is a little bamboo thing. It's a replica, of course, that the emperor's wife would be transported in, and the emperor and his wives would hardly walk, which was which is very interesting lifestyle. There's actually one ice cream that I just remembered that you can buy. It tastes like melon, and it's extremely cheap. It's about 1 RMB, which equates to about 18 cents, and it's called a Lao Bingguan, which means old ice brick, pretty much. But it's definitely definitely something I would definitely try. And wow, I said a lot of definitely's. But in Shanghai, there's also a green bean ice cream and a red bean ice cream that I'll definitely try, and I definitely recommend you guys to try. And here's some pottery. It's mostly replicas, so I mean, it's I thought that was kind of weird that they showed replicas. You'd think that next to Great Wall they could afford to have the real things, or have people donate the real things. But tours, I wouldn't really recommend taking a public tour. I maybe would recommend hiring a taxi. Always negotiate. We got from our hotel, which is from pretty much Tiananmen Square, is a block away to the Great Wall, and we paid about 650 RMB, which roughly 630 RMB is $100 for a whole day, for I think 4 hours of so it's pretty good. And Beijing taxis are very, very bad. They don't want the small business, so if you look very touristy, they would actually drive around circles to run the meter up. So it's very, very hard. Shanghai taxi drivers are a lot nicer, but Beijing taxi drivers are more talkative, which is kind of interesting. I don't really care, since my Mandarin isn't that good. But yeah, here's a Western Han Formation, which is another reproduction, as you can see, and here's a iron ingot block, which was pretty interesting. Now, you can actually take a lift up to the Great Wall, which is what we did, but there is about an hour-long wait, which is, just ridiculous to get up and to get down. So keep in mind that, and it's just swarming with so many people. So many people. You could barely, it's like walking like penguins, basically. You're just waddling past, and here's some areas that might not seem like a lot of people, but there are a lot of people. And an upcoming picture, I think the one after this one, will just show how many people there are, and there's another one two after this. If you're not from a place where there's a lot of people, you might be shocked, and I would definitely consider taking the stretch where there's less people. But it's definitely worth the wait to go up and walk up slowly and climb your way up to a lookout tower. If you're disabled, maneuverability would be quite hard. And here is the Chinese Capitol building, I believe, and it's right across the street from Tiananmen Square, as you can see from right there. Tiananmen Square is, as you can see, there is a lot of security because the Chinese government's trying to crack down on protests about the government. It actually told me stories about how people used to, in the 80s, they used to bring can of gasoline and burn themselves to gain media attention for the protests. And here's some guards here. They're mostly for show, as they spend mainly 8 hours of their day just standing there, maybe asking people for directions, or people ask them. But that's just precautionary. To make sure that there aren't any more protests. And here's Chairman Mao. He was the communist leader of China for a very, very long time, up to the 70s, I believe. Maybe 80s, I'm not sure. I'm not really good in Chinese history. And here's another guard, standing. Here's the People of Republic, Chinese flag. And here's just the security. I mean, there's every about, I don't know, maybe 50 feet, there's another one of these. And here's looks like it's a levitating teacup, but the hose actually brings the water up and down. So that's pretty cool. And there is a lot of department stores, as China is rising as a superpower in the world. A lot of department stores, a lot of U.S. brands, just Gap, Banana Republic, Nike, Adidas, The North Face, just Dior, Burberry, Gucci, just a lot of high-end products. And one interesting thing, if you like golf, this will be quite interesting, is that China is actually the fastest developing country that develops golf courses. At the moment, it has over 500. The U.S. has 50%, but it's not really expanding at a great level. It's actually staying about the same. And by 2020, it will be an estimate that China will have 4 million more people playing golf than the U.S. It says that they would have 18 million people playing golf, and that's just amazing. And my dad and I are one of the I guess in 2020, 18 million people. And I played 3 rounds at the Marcelo golf course in Shanghai. First round I did actually really good. I had a birdie putt on the 14th hole. And here we are in Xi'an. Here's a bathing place where the emperor, his wife, bathed, and it's a very famous tourist attraction. Here's a water bathing pool, and here's where the emperor's wife bathed, and people throw money at it as a good luck charm. I'd actually joke they want to buy fortune for a very, very cheap price. No one throws 100 RMBs there, mainly because it's a lot. It's like throwing $100 for Chinese income, but it's about $10 equating to us. But here's just the skyscraper showing that China is a developing power in the world. And here's the Terracotta Pit. It is a World Heritage site. And here's a kneeling archer, and the wooden bows eroded over the years or burnt away. But here the second one is an original, and it's just spectacular to see all the duplicates and replicas that there's very few, and that's just amazing. Here's the first pit. It's just huge, and they're still restoring the terracotta soldiers. I was actually joking that I wonder if one is up for sale. It'll be pretty cool to have one, in your living room. But back to golf. I know some of you guys might hate this, but golf is actually extremely expensive in China. You get a caddy and everything, but a round of golf at a nice golf course is about, I would say, maybe $100 US, but it was 600 RMB. Considering the fact the minimum wage for China is about, I think, $400 a month. So I mean, basically a round of golf is a fourth of some people's salaries, and that's the $100 is in mid tier. In the U.S. that would be a very nice course, a private course mainly, and mostly all courses are private, and driving ranges are extremely expensive as well. But I would like to thank all you guys for watching, and hope you guys enjoyed this commentary. And here's a video of the bullet train moving at 305 kilometers per hour. Peace out, guys.